Hi, good afternoon. My name is Paul. Today I'm just going to talk about, on the face of it, a very good offer that USwitch are providing customers over the next 5 weeks, where they're offering 25 hours worth of free electricity in slots of 5 hours a time over the Saturday or the Sunday at a 5 hour period of your choice within 2 slots. And what it's offering in theory is 25 hours worth of free electricity, which is fantastic, and I've signed up for it. However, the devil is in the detail. I've got 2 EVs, battery storage, and quite a high level of electricity usage. So I thought, blimey, I've got 5 hours of free electricity. Get my cars charged up, I'll get my battery storage charged up, do the dishwashing, do the tumble drying, really make use of this and potentially save a small fortune. I'm on a time of use tariff, so my overnight rate is only 5p at the moment, so it's not quite as good as it could have been, but nonetheless 5p down to nothing is worth the effort. But I thought, better check that I'm not missing something here. I checked the website, didn't see any particular restrictions. I downloaded the app and signed up and followed all of the guidance on the app. So you can see that there's nothing obvious to tell me there are any restrictions. But then luckily, somebody on another Facebook group highlighted that there was a limit. And that limit is £25 across the entire campaign. But I couldn't see that anywhere. I looked and really just couldn't find it. And then after half an hour of checking their own sites and then going and doing a Google search, I did finally find something that actually commented on the £25 limit. So then I went back and scrolled and looked and finally found the tiny little terms and conditions box and clicked on that, and then scrolled down and 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 down, and there it is, way down in small print about the £25. Now that's fine, and I don't blame them for having a limit, but I shouldn't have to search like that to find it, because for me and for many people who are EV and battery users, that could be a huge expensive mistake. Let me explain. The way the scheme seems to work is that they will look at your current tariff and look at the rate you would be paying at that time, which for me would be around about 25p a kilowatt hour. And then I pay that, and they give me a credit, which I then get refunded. So I am physically paying 25p a kilowatt hour for that electricity and then claiming it back. So let's say I charged a car for the full 5 hours at 7 kilowatts an hour. That would be 35 kilowatts. So my first 5 hour session, I've used 35 kilowatts just charging the car alone. And then say I'd also been tumble drying, dishwashing, topping my batteries up so that they'd last the day. I'd be paying 25p per kilowatt hour, and my maximum is £25. So that would be around about 100 kilowatt hours to get my £25 over the entire period, which is generous and it's fantastic. Well done, USwitch, for doing that. However, if I wasn't aware of that restriction, the position would be very different. So let's say now I'm totally unaware of this cap and I'm charging my car for 7 hours, updating my batteries for 7 hours for each of those 5 sessions. So I would probably have used around about 50 kilowatt hours in session 1, then 2, 3, 4 and 5. Which comes out at 250 kilowatt hours over the whole period. 250 kilowatt hours comes out at £62.50. of which I've had a refund of £25. So I'm £40 standard rate electricity, when if I just charged as I would normally do and done my normal overnight charging, it would have cost me a fraction of that. So I'm far worse off because I'm not aware of the £25 cap. Shouldn't the offer say 25 hours of free electricity up to a maximum of £25? That seems fair enough. That's logical. Where does it say that? Why should I have to delve down into sub-menus, little terms and conditions that are hidden away, that can't be found very easily at all? So I can see an awful lot of people getting caught out by this, and it would be interesting to see if there's any backlash. Anyway, the point is, this is, in principle, quite a good deal. It's free electricity, but you've got to know the terms and conditions, and you've got to calculate it. Otherwise, you could end up with a bigger bill than you would have had if you'd not bothered with the thing in the first place. So I hope that's useful. As you'll see on the images, I've scrolled through a few bits and pieces, so I'm sure you can find the terms and conditions yourself now. But don't get caught out. I nearly did, and I put a post up on Facebook, and I know I was not the only one. It was quite a few of us. Anyway, I'm Paul. Please subscribe. I also run several Facebook groups in the link below, which look at energy in general, especially on the time of use tariffs. Thanks for listening. Cheers now. Bye-bye.